I'm not going nowhere else in the world. I no longer want to live anywhere else. This is the #1 city in the world. The sun never sets on Nairobi, Kenya.
Showtime!
We're at a very nice restaurant, and they still let me in with the Puma tank top. Y'all know the famous Puma tank top. I got on my shorts. Y'all know what shorts I'm talking about, too. They're not appropriate for this restaurant, but they let us in anyway. And it's no issues. They still took my order. They still friendly. Everybody's nice. Men, women, everybody's friendly. It's the one city in Africa. You know Africa has its stereotypes. They're minute here. Like if you go to Tanzania, if you go to Rwanda and you want to get in an Uber, they don't even know the city. They asking you for the directions and they got a map. See, here you order Uber, 60 seconds it's outside.
That's true, they are fast.
It's a cashless society. It's cashless, and we're gonna say the best for last. The ladies, undefeated. That's one of the main one of them why I don't want to go nowhere else. You talking about sweet, beautiful, and don't let them get in the gym. So that's all I gotta say.
I love Kenya. Kenya is the best country in the world. I've been to over 20 countries so far, and I don't want to go anywhere else. I agree with the sentiments of Austin Holloman. Second time I left Kenya, all I could think about was Kenya. I was in Thailand, I was in Cambodia, I went through Europe. Ain't nothing messing with Kenya. It's modernized for Africa. Like you can get anything you want. If you're trying to go set up a shop here, doing business is easy. If you want to work remote, you got Microsoft right here, you got PwC, you got big corporations. So if you want to get transferred out here, and the ladies, I love Kenyan women. Y'all already know this. I went viral for saying this already. I love Kenyan women.
How does it stack up to Tanzania? Because you did quite a bit of time there.
Yeah, so Tanzania, I gotta be honest. Tanzania is not as modern as Kenya. All right, so I spent a year in Tanzania. I actually want to live in Tanzania, but Tanzania still has a lot of growing pains to go through. And it's really hard for you to stay there. Like, they make it difficult. And actually, one of my boys, he left there because, they're cutting out visas for people. Yeah, he was on an education visa. They just removed that because a bunch of African Americans was using that to stay there.
I did see some videos about that.
So I love Tanzania, but Kenya is the closest thing you're gonna get to America in Africa, and they want us here.
Oh, Africa.
Okay, I would
have to say South Africa, in my opinion.
I never been to South Africa, so I'm just speaking on I only spent time in East Africa. People do say South Africa is it, but look, from what I've seen in Kenya, the weather's nice, the cost of living is great. You can't go wrong. With Tanzania, if you want to live a similar lifestyle to the States, it can get costly. Especially you want to stay in the upper areas like Masaki, Upanga. You're going to spend some bread.
Just as much as you would in the States almost.
Yeah, so Kenya is that perfect balance for what I see in Africa, where you can have a nice cost of living, it's modernized, and there's nothing wrong with it. The only thing I can say that's wrong with it doesn't really affect us. It's the taxes and all that, but unless you're gonna open businesses here, that's when you get into that system. But if you're coming here and you have remote income and all your income is coming from outside of here, it shouldn't be an issue. But you want to answer about Tanzania versus Kenya?
It's not even comparable, man. It's not even comparable. Tanzania changed my perspective on black people, on Africa in general. But once I came here, I haven't thought about going back to Tanzania. The only time I think about Tanzania is when I talk about me first coming to Africa, or if I'm talking to him. That's the only time.
First country in Africa?
First country in Africa, and I loved it. But this is just undefeated. It's undefeated. The food is better though. The food is better in Tanzania. They got the best food in the world, if you ask me.
Yeah.
They got the best food in the world.
They do. Some of the food reminded me of Jamaican food.
Yeah, but all their food is organic though.
Yeah.
So there's no chemical. You know, States, all our food is processed. Literally, our first time I went to Tanzania, I lost 5 pounds just eating normal food because no growth hormones, no process. So if you trying to get your diet right, I would say go to Tanzania.
There ain't enough reason to go to Tanzania.
Bro, you get your diet. Bro, the women are bad there.
No, there's other places that you can go to get your diet right, but that's a bit much.
I think for some reason, man, I don't know, maybe it's Brazil's, the way how they eat rice and beans with everything. The food, I don't think it's GMO over there, but I put on weight when I go there. And I slim down and I lean up when I come back to Africa.
I feel the food in Colombia is good too.
Really?
Yeah.
They told me the food in
I don't eat the price of food, you know, but everything else is pretty good, you know.
But they said the food is kind of bland though. You didn't get that?
No, but I don't eat Colombian food when I'm there. I'll go to Italian restaurants, Peruvian restaurants, stuff like that. I don't really eat their typical meal. So, I mean, fish is fish and chicken is chicken, but they have everything. Mexican restaurants, you know, sushi, everything. They even have Thai restaurants in Medellin now. So the food is good. They have it. And it's affordable. Like the high end there, it still ain't gonna reach you to $100 for two.
Okay, so people can have reference. Compare the cost of living in Colombia versus Thailand, because that's both places we lived in.
Thailand is cheaper, food is cheaper, overhead for housing is cheaper, transportation almost the same but a little cheaper. Everything is cheaper. Girls is cheap, everything.
But you got a trade-off though.
But it's far.
Get it.
And I would say Pattaya is not real life. So if it's Bangkok, you know, even to me, Phuket is not real life.
It's not.
So
I agree.
Go to Koh Samui, Wuhan, just somewhere else to live. To me, it's too much distractions in Pattaya. That's not to live. That's to have fun. Even though some brothers live there, some men live there, but it's to me, it's not reality.
Yeah, that's what I always say. Yeah, like Pattaya illusion. If you want to if you want to live real life, Bangkok, Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai, Hoi Hin, like you said. But yeah, we're getting off topic. Let's talk about this wonderful place that we're in right now, Kenya. So
what do y'all do when y'all here?
I mean,
try not to spend too much money.
Yeah, try not to spend money.
It's not expensive.
What is on the? I found that the thing that's on the more expensive side is the food. The food can get pricey if you want to go to nice restaurants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is true. But it depends. Like if you want to go to really, really nice restaurants, you're gonna spend money. But there's a lot of options you could go that you're not gonna spend a lot of money. Like here, you got like NSK, Nairobi Street Kitchen. Right. That's a good spot. Like you got a lot of like courtyards you can go to. But that's the best part about Nairobi. You get to choose your lifestyle. If you want to be like super budget and eat locally, yo, there was a dish like I paid for 3 people. I paid 600 shillings in a local spot. But if you want to go up, yeah, you could pay like 1,000 shillings like at Nairobi Street Kitchen. Or if you want to come here, you spend like 2,000. So for reference, 600 shillings is about like $5 and some change. 1,000 shillings is about $7. But if you were going to like the 2,000, you're looking at like $16, $20 range. So you get to choose your lifestyle. There's apartments here. Like I did videos of apartments, $100, $200 for a 2-bedroom. In a neighborhood is that? That's more like on the Campbell County area. Like the area like we're kind of staying in now is like Campbell County. You're on the other side. Yeah, you're on the more like luxury side.
And what's the difference in time to get on this side? Because y'all usually gonna party on this side though, right?
Yeah, so it's probably, if you staying like on the far end of Campbell County, it's probably gonna take you like 30 minutes, 35 minutes to get to like Kilimani. It'll probably take you like 20 minutes to get to like Westlands. Like if you on the edge, but like if you're like where we're at, it's like 15 minutes.
Okay. So there's a big price difference between right outside of the main part of the city. Is the quality the same or is it?
Yeah,
does it feel more local there? Like what's the difference?
Austin can actually speak for this because you just got like in a new spot. So talk about your spot.
What do you want me to say?
Like he's saying like there's a different quality.
When you first came, you stayed around here.
I stayed around here.
Why'd you decide to go over there and what's the difference?
So I'm gonna say two things. I went to the southern part by the university. It was not too far from here. It'd probably take me 10 minutes with no traffic to get to this side of town. But I was staying in a 2-bedroom, fully furnished, 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, with a nice view. It wasn't a skyline view, but it was a nice view. You know, with a hammock. You know, a pretty big patio. And that was about $670 a month, you know, versus where I'm at now. It's way further out. It's way out the way because I don't want to be around this too much because then it won't be cheap anymore. Not because it's expensive, but I will spend more money because it's just there. It's there. I can walk. It is here. It's here. It's more party. I'm not even going to be able to get my work done. So I moved out of the way, so I had to make a decision. I'm paying $850 a month now. But it has a backyard, it has a grill, it has a wash machine.
You renting a house or an apartment?
A house,
okay.
Yeah, a house. It's $850 a month, and it's a gated neighborhood, and then it's my house is gated as well. So it's a lot more amenities and it's more convenient, but it's just out of the way.
Yeah.
But it's the area is nice, but it's just not nice if you want to. Oh, let me go to a club. It's about to be 20 minutes for me to go somewhere.
And actually, the area there's still clubs there. The area we're in right now is where people with money stay at. So if you go to those clubs, you're gonna meet more high society, more people who work for embassies, diplomats, stuff like that. Because they don't usually come to this side of town.
Like the suburbs compared to here?
Yeah,
moving out of the city?
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly like that. Because that's where you're gonna find like all the international schools and all that. And also on the other side of that, like, cause I stayed in the local area, like the apartments was like what, $200 a month, $300 a month, cause I wanted to experience like living with the locals. Like your cost of living drop. Like if you stay in those areas, but I don't think most Americans gonna stay there. You can literally live off of $1,500 a month and be chilling.
You did that when you was in Tanzania. You was in the local area.
Tanzania, I was in with the foreigners in Upanga. Like I was in the suburb area. Yeah, the local area in Tanzania, you probably don't want to go there. It gets a little rough.
Yeah.
Cause that's why I got my phone snatched and like.
Oh yeah. I remember you made the video.
I stayed in Mali Mwangwala when I was in Tanzania. It was more local. But it was. Tanzania's not cheap, man. Like, I think I paid like over $1,000 a month for where I was staying at. And it wasn't the nice stuff, like going to nice clubs and restaurants wasn't even walking distance. It took me 20 minutes to get to like Masaki.
Yeah, Masaki.
So it's you get more bang for your buck here, man. This is where the center of the universe is at.
Y'all both been to Uganda too, right? Uganda?
Yeah, we both went. You went to Uganda.
So what's the difference there? I know y'all didn't live there, but
it's more run down in Uganda.
Yeah, Uganda's less developed. Like, okay.
Less than Tanzania?
It's more developed than Tanzania. I put it in between Kenya and Tanzania. Okay. So it's like, okay, I would say Tanzania is less developed. Because Dar es Salaam is basically a beach town for the most part. Once you get outside of Masaki, Upanga, and you start going to like Mbezi B, Tabata Segerea, Kinondoni, you start to see like the rough edges. Like the streets start getting like undeveloped and all that.
I went to like some old ancient town. It was like an hour, 2-hour drive, and you definitely see the difference.
Yeah, like literally, like, okay, there's a marketplace called Carrico. As soon as you turn off that street, the road, it looks like you're in a barren wasteland. And I'm not even disrespecting Tanzania. That's my first love in Africa.
There's a lot of dirt roads.
Bro, turn off, if y'all ever in Tanzania, go up to your head in like Tabata Segerea. You're gonna think you're going to like some Mad Max movie set. It looks crazy. But Kampala is more developed than Tanzania, but it's still very, very rough around the edges. And Kampala is very spread out. It's not uncommon, like if you're trying to meet somebody, they will live 45 minutes away because they can't afford to stay in like the high-end areas like Kololo because the rent is just too expensive for them. So most people are gonna stay on the outskirts, like, so you're gonna, like if you say you're gonna go on a date with a girl, expect her to show up like an hour late because just her getting there is gonna take her a minute.
What's your top 3 favorite countries?
Top 3 favorite countries?
top 3. Is that too little? You need 5?
Nah, I could do 3.
Okay.
Kenya's number 1.
Okay.
I still love Thailand, even though I feel like Thailand is changing. It's changing a lot. Even Bangkok, like, it feels like they're kind of becoming less friendlier to foreigners. Prices are starting to go up.
Do you think it's because their encounters with more foreigners? Or they tired of seeing them? I mean, it's just your opinion.
I think it's 2 factors. It's not like they're not becoming more friendly to foreigners, but it's like, since everybody wants to go to Thailand now, because Thailand's like, okay, cheap, cheap, cheap. When you think cheap, you think Thailand. And you got a mass immigration of people coming into your country, prices are gonna rise, because we're going over there buying.
They literally just opened it up, triple fold.
Yeah.
For more, they put 39 more countries that can come on their list.
Yeah.
They turned 30-day to 90-day visa and all kind of other visas they just made available. They created new visas so people could stay longer.
Yeah, they got the digital nomad visa, which allows you 6 months in the country. Then you can leave and get another 6 months.
Yeah.
So
that's going to bring even more foreigners to that country.
Yeah. But Thailand is still a great option. But the thing is, I wouldn't recommend Pattaya though. Like, you would need to go to like Bangkok. You would need to go to Chiang Mai. Because this is the thing. If you're in like Phuket, even Phuket's not bad, but you got to get off of like Bangalore Road. Like, if you're in that Bangalore Road area, you're just wasting money.
If you go in other areas, you're going to be around a lot of foreigners, Russians and Aussies. So they got that whole other side.
Yeah.
They got those old other beaches lined up, boy. I was like the only black dude on the beach. I went on the other side. I was the only black dude on the beach.
Yeah, and Pattaya is like also like, I mean not Pattaya, Phuket is like the playground for the rich. Like, I met a bunch of hedge fund managers. They've written like, their places are literally hotels. They're paying like $17,000 a month.
Right.
So like, you're competing with like the Russians that got money, the Americans that got money, the Aussies that got money, the British that got money.
Right.
So it's gonna be more expensive. But if you go to Chiang Mai, which is kind of went up too, but like the whole digital nomad thing is dying.
Yeah.
So the prices are not as expensive as they used to be, but it's a good option, but it's kind of slow. Like, 'cause
what I noticed though in those areas that the foreigners over there are not necessarily with Thai women. Like, there's a lot of Russian women and Russian men, old and tired, in those areas. So it's not like where Pattaya and the major part, you'll see old retired men with retired women. But in those other areas where the Russians are big, they're not necessarily with Thai women. They might be with their own women. Or the women might be there alone. It just doesn't look the same as in. And what people don't realize too is that Vietnam is just as cheap, with just as many options. And they got nice beach towns too. Different cities with different feels.
yeah, I never been to Vietnam, but Austin could speak on Vietnam. Like, yeah, you've been out there.
It's Vietnam was one of my favorite cities in Asia. Ho Chi Minh City was my favorite city, one of my favorite cities in Asia. I think maybe I like Bangkok a little more because there's more, like, if you want electronics, the Ho Chi Minh City wasn't good for that. Like, you couldn't find this camera in Ho Chi Minh City. You could find it in you could find anything in Bangkok. So when it came to, okay, well, certain things I might need in life, Bangkok is better for. The air quality was worse in Vietnam, though. I think it was worse. Vietnam and Cambodia. Cambodia had the worst air quality that I've ever been around, ever.
But did you go to Da Nang when you was in Vietnam?
No, I should have.
Yeah, that's like, that beach town is really nice.
I've seen it, yeah.
And that's where they have that Golden Hand Bridge and all that. Yeah. Big thing all the way up in the mountain amusement park. If I was to stay there, I would probably stay over there. If you get the water, and you get a beautiful city that's not run in by a whole bunch of foreigners.
Yeah.
There's not as much to do, but if you want to take your children on vacation, that would be a nice place to go for a week or two.
Yeah, Saigon is overrun with foreigners, just like Bangkok. It's just like there's so many Europeans and Australians and Russians there. It's very overrun by foreigners. I mean, but it wasn't a problem, but it was just, if you want to get away from that, that wouldn't be the spot.
And they've been going there for a long time.
Yeah.
All right, so how long y'all staying here? You say you never leaving? Well, you did say that about Brazil. So you got to hold tight to what you're saying now, because now people are like, you said the same thing about Brazil.
I said the same thing about Brazil, right? But I didn't travel the world. So I said that, and then I went around the world, and I was like, oh, Brazil isn't the only place that makes me feel like this. And some issues I ran into in Brazil, I won't run into here. Every place has its own problems, but the amount of bullshit I'm willing to deal with is the least amount here.
Your 3 top countries.
Here, Kenya, Brazil, and the third one, that's a tricky one. I would have to go with Peru. If we say top 3, because I would say Chile, but Chile is way more expensive than Peru. Dating is a lot more difficult than Chile than it is in Peru.
I agree.
Yeah, it's those 2 factors make a huge difference in your entire experience. So I think I had the better out of those 2 in Peru.
All right, I think that's it. We're good.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me today.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Got food in my teeth, shit.
Check out that channel.
Yeah.
Damn.
You ate fast too. Go ahead.
Yeah. Nah, yo, you already know what it is. Your boy Kid Greatness. You can't rush greatness. We out. I say that in every video, bro.
Austin Holloman, I'm your only friend.
Subscribe, snitches.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?